In this video, we are going to do a mesh analysis in a circuit with one of the sources having a negative polarity. If you look at this circuit, this supply has 10 volts. The top has a positive polarity. Over here, if you had seen the previous videos, you would have seen that we started out showing you two supplies, and this supply was also positive. Now we have flipped the supply, so we're having a negative supply. So the question is, how do we carry out mesh analysis using on a circuit that has one of the sources reversed? Now the trick is to ignore that source and assume that it is a source that will circulate the current in an anti-clockwise way from here and in a clockwise way from here. So let's draw in our current direction and you'll see what I mean. So we're going to draw in and we're going to label the circuit I1, and we're going to say this I1 is circulating in this way. So we draw on the arrow, okay, and we draw on the arrow here, and we label this I1. Now for mesh analysis, we're going to assume we want to have the currents meshing in R3. So we want the current I2 to also flow in this direction. Now that is counter to what you would think, because you have a negative polarity here, you would think that it would flow in the opposite direction. Indeed, that will happen, but we're going to do the mesh analysis and the mass will take care of the sign, the direction of the current. So we are again assuming that I2 is in this direction. Okay, right. Now we're going to write down the polarities as before. So here is positive, here is negative. If the current is flowing in this direction, this side will be positive and this side will be negative. Over here, this is negative. Note, this side is positive. But note carefully, we are assuming the current is flowing in this direction. So this side will be positive and this side will be negative. You have to be very careful. And we assume that the current will flow down, I1 and I2, I1 plus I2, I1 plus I2 is going to flow down this direction. So this will be positive. Positive on this side, well, positive also. Sorry, so this should have been negative here. And this would be negative. Okay, right. So just to make sure you understand clearly how to set up mesh analysis for a supply that is negative, we assume that the currents are flowing in this direction and in this direction, ignoring the polarity of the battery. Then we go around the loop and we write the equations for the Kirchhoff voltage law for this loop and the Kirchhoff voltage law for this loop. So let us do that now. So we start from this side and we ask ourselves, is it a voltage rise or voltage fall? It is a voltage rise, so we're going to have plus 10 volts plus here, is it a rise or fall? It's a voltage fall, so it's going to be plus negative 4 I1, algebraic sum again, plus we are getting a voltage fall from here to here, so that's going to be negative 3 I1 plus I2 equals 0. Okay, That is how you set it up. And you simplify it. Okay? And what I'm going to do now, yes, let me complete this one. We're going to complete this one. So we're going to expand. So we have that 10 minus 4i1 minus 3i1 minus 3i2 equals 0. And that gives 10 minus 7i1 minus 3i2 equals 0. Or we can write 7i1 minus 3i2 equals to 10. That will give us our equation 1. 7i1 minus 7i1, sorry, that should have been plus. Okay, so this was 10 minus 7i1 minus 3i2 equals 0. So you bring these i1s over on the other side, the i1s and the i2, so you get 7 plus 7i1 plus 3i2 equals 10. Now, I'm going to seek to utilize the board here now, and we're going to attempt to write the equation for the right-hand side. So note, this is where we have to be very careful. So we start from here, and we go around the loop. So we says, is this a voltage rise or voltage fall? It is a voltage fall. So we're going to write negative 8. What do we have here? A voltage rise or voltage fall? That's a voltage fall. So that is going to be, so the algebraic sum plus, but it's going to be a negative 2i2. Then here, from here to here is a voltage fall. So algebraic sum again, but it's going to be a negative, it's going to be a fall. So it's going to be 3 times I1 plus I2 equals 0. Right? So we're going to get then minus 8 minus 2I2 minus 3I1 minus 3I2 is equal to 0. You get minus 8 minus 3I1. There's only one I1 here. And you have a minus 2I2 and a minus 3I2. That gives minus 5I2 minus 5I2 equals 0. If we bring the I1s and I2s over on one side, we're going to get 3I1 plus 5I2 equals negative 8. And that's our equation 2. Okay? So we're going to then take these two equations, 7I1 plus 3I2 equals 10, and 3I1 plus 5I2 equals minus 8. Solve them simultaneously, and we're going to get the values for I1 and I2. In the next video, we shall proceed to find the values for I1 and I2, and indeed I3.